Hello everyone, this is Sharon with Anteleki Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of September 14th through September 20th. So I thank you for your patience as there was not a video update last week as I was tending to some personal matters, but I do hope that this finds you well and that you have been navigating this powerful month of September with ease and grace, however it may find you. We did have a pretty potent week last week of the planet Mars going retrograde on the 9th. And as I had been chatting about that in previous updates, this particular alignment will be with us for the next several months. So well into October and then into November. And this alignment is adding a bit of power, a bit of oomph and potency to our lives for the next several months. This planet is the one of warrior and aggression at times. So with it going retrograde, it can really kind of pull all of that out and amplify it. So really causing it to emerge, or anything that has been suppressed or pushed under the rug for the entire year of what we've been moving through, personally and collectively, that it can now start to emerge. However, this is also a time to ask us to slow down, a time to invite us to reset in our lives. So there is quite a perk and an advantage to this time that we can kind of reassess a little bit, that the motivation and the fiery quality of this summer is now shifting gears, and it's time to really go within. We are approaching another season change, and this particular week we are on the emergence of the autumn equinox, which is marking the official season change into autumn on the 22nd. So you may feel your body, you may feel your mind, your emotions kind of moving through that, as we are so deeply connected to nature that our entire well-being is now shifting gears to align with the season shift. So it's a time of greater inwardness, a time of integrating all that we've already been through. And you may be feeling kind of weary at that thought that you don't really want to go any further inward because we've already been very inward. However, this is a time of healing. So integration, rest, and reset can be very healing. That even though we have already been very inward this year, and we've had a lot of things we've had to adapt to, a lot of things that we've had to embrace and accept and kind of move through as it's coming at us, that this is a time to really ask us to reflect on that, to integrate that, but to also be aware and mindful of how that is really affecting us on a whole, how that is affecting us on a mental state, on an emotional state, and our physical bodies as well. So this is a very key point in the year to really have that checkpoint to see where we're at and what we need. So as we move through this week, we have a new moon falling on the 17th. And this particular new moon is asking us to bring some newness, bring some clarity into many different areas. And it will kind of be like a fresh air reprieve for us, because it will offer some kind of perspective shift. You may notice that some clarity begins to enter in your life around some areas that have been maybe rather confusing or foggy, or you're not quite sure of how to either approach things or move forward with something, whether that is a project that you're involved in, whether that is a connection, a relationship, or some kind of idea or creation that you are considering or envisioning for your future. That this new moon is opening the door on a little bit of ease in our life to really offer that clicking into place on something that we have been kind of trudging ahead with, that a lot of the grunt work has really been grueling on many different areas, that we have been putting in the time, we've been putting in the effort on things, and maybe certain things haven't shifted, or it feels like a never-ending process with that, or many areas in life. Well, this particular new moon, being a super new moon, which means that it's closer to Earth, it kind of amplifies the new beginning. So the energy of it is much more potent. So a large new beginning on offering some more clarity for our path ahead. So there's this uplifting and optimistic moment this week as we do approach this new moon. And it's also coupled with a time of really letting go and releasing, because anytime there is this quality of a new beginning or a massive new beginning or huge new clarity, that is usually coupled with something that we need to shed. And that can be anything from an old way of doing things, an old connection, or something that has faded, something that has kind of worn out its welcome, that no longer fits with where we're at this point in the year or this point in our lives. So this is also a time of release, an ending, a chapter closing as a large new chapter is beginning. Just as a reminder that we are still in the 9 month of the year, and 9 representing a culmination, 9 representing a completion. So we are moving in that process of something completing. And it's very much in alignment with the seasons shifting. So it is ironic that this new moon is falling right before we have that shift over to a new season, which offers a new beginning in and of itself. So we are in this influence of this ending beginning phase this week. So just see within your own life what is revealing itself surrounding those themes, and how you can reflect upon that and what is needed for your path ahead in relation to that. This can also be a time of great healing. This season is also very much about the body. This season is also very much about the earth. So our physical, tangible temples that we are in, and really tending to our bodily needs and what our body needs on a sense of a nurturing space, really mothering ourselves and taking care of ourselves. That we may have gone into somewhat of a survival mode throughout the course of this year, and that we can often put our bodies last, that we get so caught up in our minds and our emotions and just kind of surviving through the experiences of challenges, of triggers, of circumstances in our lives and in the world, that we can tend to forget or neglect our physical body and what it's telling us, what it's speaking to us on many different subtle levels. So this is a good time to really listen, to tune into your body and to tap in and see what is it that your body's trying to tell you. Are there some aches and pains that you've neglected or ignored? Are there some needs that are calling for in your diet, in your health routines? Is there something that you need to get checked out at this point that you've been putting off? So really tending to your physical needs right now will support your entire overall well-being and also the foundation as we move into this next chapter, as we move into this new season. So with that, we have been moving through quite an initiation period. This entire year is all about transformation, about alchemy, about rebirthing from the ashes of an old world. And yes, the rebirth will occur, but we are moving through quite a bit of that transformation still. So you may be feeling weary. You may be feeling as though you're wondering when this is all going to shift, when things are going to somewhat return back to normal, or when your life can kind of kick back into gear and you can kind of enjoy the things that you have enjoyed in the past. However, we are in a new alchemical stage with this, and we are in the core of it. We're in the heart of the alchemy right now. So it's a matter of addressing your own needs within the present space of the transformation and coming back to that present moment and realizing that there is no changing what's occurring right now. That we have to embrace how we are handling it, embrace how we are accepting it, and also to honor our emotions, honor our body, and all that's moving through as we are navigating this. When we are wishing or hoping for something to shift or be different, we are living in the future. We are not living in the present tense, and we are also living in the mind. So if you're finding that you're struggling at this point and you're feeling very weary and over this entire year, which I get it, it is not an easy year in the least bit. However, we can lean more into our tools of using our breath, coming back to that present moment. And the moment that we use our breath to come into the moment, we are getting out of the mind and we are moving more into our heart space. And within our heart space, that is all that matters. We don't have to think about the what ifs of the future. We don't have to think about the discomfort of what we're presently experiencing. When we are using our breath and when we are coming into our heart space, definitely honor your emotions. And it's not about pushing them away. But the moment that we can really, truly be with ourselves in that space, it's as though that discomfort can melt a little bit. So you are your greatest ally through this. And you can really strengthen these tools and know that you can return to them again and again throughout your day. And that you can lean into them as a saving grace for these times. Definitely, if you do need additional support and you're having a more tricky time kind of getting into those spaces or relying on those tools, don't be afraid to reach out for help. That this is a time that is challenging for all of us. So if you do need that additional support, definitely feel free to reach out to a therapist, healthcare worker, practitioner, a friend, family member, if you just need that little nudge for your day, your week, or every day for that matter. So as we move through this time and we move through this week and we're entering this shift of the seasons, I want to honor and offer this inspiration and this hope for your week ahead. And to know that all is well. It may look like a complete mess on the world stage, on a physical reality, but remember that bigger plan. Remember that grander focus. And keep your heart and your mind aligned with that. That there is a reason for why it looks so chaotic. There is a reason why it is so messy in the outer world, even in your individual life for that matter. and know that it's all restructuring and reshaping to look completely different so we can shed an old way, an old world and way of being. So I bring to you the channeled message for this week as that spark of hope. Pushing only gets us so far. Overdoing creates resistance. It is a time of patience and allowing. Challenging lessons teach us to surrender, to flow with the divine plan being shown to you. When we are challenged, we are prepped, strengthened, and refined, and we may not always know how that will play out for our future or what we're being primed for. But any time something sudden, unexpected, or delays cross our path, it's a sign to pay attention. Become intently aware of what is occurring and the gift that is being presented in the shift. The infinite nature of the universe is conspiring for us in every second of our lives. All is in perfection. When we see bumps or difficulties as such, we can realize that the greater plan at play is working their delicate universal fingers through our lives to shape-shift us for the next grand chapter. So I leave you with that channeled message for the week. I hope that you are surviving and riding these times with ease and grace, and that you are well however this may find you. If you do need that additional support at this time, you can learn more about my services at entelechivisions.com. I invite you to like and subscribe to this channel as it does offer support. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead, and thank you for listening.